Okay, we are going on now. I kindly ask you to take seat that we can go on with the next lecture. We continue with Dr.Jürgen Perschon. He also takes care of bicycles for Africa. But these are very special bicycles, as you will see. Mr. Perschon is from Hamburg, and he works with friends from Uganda. And he's speaking on behalf of the Rotary Club Hamburg Bergedorf. It's a great project. It's very interesting. Dear Mr. Perschon, it's your stage.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grabe. And thank you to Global Rotary Convention Meeting to host us here and to present you our project. I wish you a very good morning, and I wanted to start with an old story. I started 25 years ago. I took my bicycle to Uganda, and I cycled almost 3,000 kilometers through the country. And then I met a colleague there, a good friend now, and we started to hand out, to give out, to collect money, to give out bicycles to Africans. Because we are cyclists here in Europe, in Germany, and we know that it is a good lifestyle, and it can even help as a tool for development. I think we have to be grateful for World Bicycle Relief to do all this work in the past. Now, I'm very happy to be here to talk a little bit about innovation and about the new era, maybe in cycling, not only in Europe. And for this reason, we tried to get our regional African director to Hamburg, and we managed, and I would like to welcome with you Mr. Patrick Kayemba from Uganda, our African regional director of URIS. Thank you very much, Patrick, to be with us. Yes. Patrick is not riding on an ordinary bicycle. He is riding on a bicycle which we have just developed for East Africa, and we have tested this. Patrick is riding an e-bike which was constructed for the African continent, for the African cycling conditions, and we will talk to you about our experience with that and our plans. We have two different things to tell you. The story we have for you is twofold. One thing is we will tell you what we did in the last 1.5 years. And the other thing we will do is we want to discuss with you and present with you the plans for innovative mobility with green energy in Africa and maybe beyond that. So Patrick, maybe you can introduce to us a little bit the chronology of the project we have started some years ago.
Thank you so much, and I want to thank you for deciding to attend to our session. And this is a continuity, more or less, of the presentation that was made by World Bicycle Relief, talking about a bicycle and how a bicycle can really change the lives of people. Me and Dr. Jürgen Perschon have talked about issues of bicycle for some time. We have discovered the potential that is around a bicycle and how a bicycle can change livelihood, how a bicycle can transform society. We have moved through different stages. The first stages were stages of enabling people to appreciate the role that a bicycle can be able to play in society. The second stage was the stage of change of attitude, because different people looked at a bicycle in a different way. So we had to do that. The third stage was to influence policies of the African countries to appreciate, because many of the policies in Africa could not improve, could not enable good conditions for cycling, both on the road, safety on the road, but also safety of the bike. So we did all that We did a lot of advocacy, and we are happy to say that as we are speaking now, a number of countries have adopted non-motorized transport policies. That is inclusive within their national transport policies. Because having a bicycle is different, and riding it safely from a place of origin to a place of destination is also different. So we went ahead to look at that, and that, to a greater extent, we have achieved. Now we move to another level of looking at a bicycle. And just like you were able to be informed by the previous presentation, a bicycle makes wonders in terms of access, improving access to social services. When you talk about social services, you're talking about education. You're talking about health. But you're also talking about water. All those are embedded in the Millennium Development Goals, the sustainable goals, just like previously you were elaborated to by the previous speaker. When you look at those, of course, we tried to first of all, we base our projects on research, on facts. What can a bicycle do, and how does it do? And when we are presenting it to you here, what facts are we presenting to you that you can be able to say, oh yes, this is, because this is empirical data that we go ahead in the field to collect. We decided in 2017, we were helped by Rotary Club of Hamburg and a few other friends, and we were able to innovate now, an upgrading from a real ordinary bicycle to an e-bike. Because there is growth, there is development. Everything is evolving. Yes, we are also talking about how do we evolve and move with the country, move with the world as it moves. We're talking about sustainable e-bicycle. We were able to get bicycles and tested these bicycles, placed them in communities. First of all, to improve the socioeconomic of the communities. And each bike that we acquired traveled over 10,000 kilometers in 1 to 5 years. Can be able to have the potential to do that, covered about 20 kilometers per day, and had 12 users. Because we cannot give a bike to an individual. Yes, it is good. It is lively for an individual to own such a bike. But affording it, sustaining it, and maximizing its potential is also something different. So we're able to place these bicycles to groups of women, groups of youths. Then they can be able to do sharing of this bicycle and maximize the benefit of the bicycles. What did we discover? Of course, what you can see on your right has been presented in the previous, where women have to walk long distances on jerrycans on the head to fetch water. Of course, this has an implication. It has an implication of time. It has an implication of the energy that is used by the woman. How many times and how many years can this ordinary woman in the village carry jerrycans day in, day out to look for good and safe water? Then we are saying no. I think when we introduced an e-bike, an improvement of the ordinary bike, we are moving a step ahead. Just like the bicycle moves slightly faster and uses little energy, is we gave bicycles to communities within groups. What did we save? We saved the time of a lady. A woman can easily go to fetch water, come back, and use that time for something productive. We saved energy. The woman can be able, instead of carrying jerrycans on the head, can be able to put the jerrycans here, not even pedal, but at the end of the day, be able to roll the bike up to home. There is energy saved, which can be translated into some other productive productive activity for income and also for livelihood. Health is saved. Because the more a woman is carrying jerrycans on the head and walking long distances, the more the rate of depreciation of that particular individual. Many of you may not know that even human beings depreciate. Indeed, they do. And from our research, we were able to discover that. What are our findings? Bicycles already dominate the rural African because, you know, many of our communities are rural-based in Africa. They are not urban-based. They are rural-based or peri-urban-based. Each taxi driver makes about 2,500 trips per annum. Of course, this is rural research. And carries tons and tons of goods. Offer affordable mobility for all. And that is the bicycle taxi we're talking about. Of course, moving a little bit from the woman to socioeconomic. Also bearing in mind that unemployment of the youth is one of the biggest challenges that we have in Africa. Yes, that is a bicycle ambulance. You may not believe the wonders that that can do. Many of our health units have a distance from the settlements of people. And moving a pregnant mother expecting to deliver through the not very comfortable roads to access to health facilities is a big challenge. And I think this is one of our biggest achievements that we have achieved. We have stories where lives of mothers have been saved. We have kids that are kicking now that would have not had the chance to kick. Maybe from the area of destination to the health facility, it would be too late for that particular mother. We have placed this bicycle ambulance at the health center 4, health center 3 in one of the sub-counties. And the health center 3, and we have also placed another bicycle ambulance in the communities where it is easy to easily access when there is a need to put a sick mother, an expectant mother, to a health center, to the bicycle ambulance, to the health center 3, and ready to deliver a child. We have what we call village VHTs, village health teams. And through the village health teams, the bicycle ambulance is managed, the bicycle ambulance is shared, the bicycle ambulance is utilized. And the bicycle ambulance, the significant improvement of the livelihood have been discussed and have been enhanced. Away from the real ordinary bicycle to an e-bike, you're moving life slightly for more years, and you're giving back to the African woman, the African children, and the African people more lives. Of course, go back a little bit. Of course, like I mentioned, how are we collecting information? Through discussions. Some of our volunteers are meeting these groups and trying to find out what exactly is the impact of this bike. Not only to the mother, but also to the husband. Not only the husband, but also the child. Because the child has more time with the parents than he or she used to have. The father has more time and finds an energetic woman at the time when he needs her, other than finding a very tired woman. So there is a benefit all the way, social, political, and economic benefit that can be provided by an e-bike. Of course, the multiplier effect. The village health teams, the village health promotion deliveries, 16% improvement. There has been 10% of improvement of numbers and children that are carried to school, and going to the field and agriculture activities, we have realized increase by 58%, but also going to market, going for shopping, taking goods to market, there has been an increase of 16%. Of course, looking at the water, those pictures, of course, talk by themselves. There are more time that is spent in the field by the farmers. Because when they arrive in the field, they are stronger. They've not been working. And when they leave the field, they are more energetic and they can arrive home quite easily. Because you spend time in the field, you spend energies. You again spend time walking back home, you spend energies. By the time you arrive home, you have to organize food for your children, you have to look for water, you have to look for firewood, you have to look for food and all those sorts of things. More time is spent with the family and all those other benefits. So I want to say that's the wonders that a bicycle can do, and this is from research. We have been able to test the e-bike, and how do we make it sustainable? This is what Dr. Jürgen is going to provide to you. Why and how do we move from this stage to another stage? The world is moving. We cannot remain static. We have also to move with the world if we are to be happy. We create gross domestic happiness other than gross domestic product. That is where our focus is. With your support, we can move miles. Jürgen.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for these very clear words. And I must tell you, this bike had impact on the people. Of course, you have learned this. And even ordinary bikes have a great impact. But this bike project has also impact on us both. We were starting in 2003, collecting money from Germany and giving it out to Ugandans. But this time, after this 1.5 years of pilot project, of pioneering e-bikes, solar-driven e-bikes in Africa, we have the feeling that we are near to a very new era of mobility. And thank you very much. And our thankfulness is also geared to the Rotary Club in Hamburg, Bergedorf, because without their support, and two representatives are sitting here in the second row, Mr. and Mrs. Bavendam, without their support and their enthusiasm and motivation to support this project, we would not stand here. It was just up to them, and I think they deserve a clap of all of us. Thank you very much. Now, before we continue, I want to describe a little bit, explain to you what we are thinking of for the next phase. The next phase, we want to establish a social business model. Solar energy and hydropower plants are available and affordable in Africa now. So when we reach that level that we can afford green energy, why can't we combine the energy sector with the mobility sector? And that's exactly what we try to do, and we have already found two great partners in Germany. Just as a side comment, I have not introduced to Juris. Juris is a non-governmental, non-profit organization based in Hamburg and working mainly in Africa. So what we want to do is we want to create a new market connecting mobility and energy. I think this is a good idea because we are creating new knowledge in the rural communities, and we transfer knowledge about these new markets. And then, of course, we are working on the communities to improve their increase of range of activities. They have a better way of traveling. It's more comfortable. The status of bicycles are better than the ordinary bicycle, and so on and so on. And of course, it will be green energy, and that's everything we want to have. It is something which you cannot discuss in the rural context of Africa, that we can only do things which is green in terms of energy. But of course, this will be one of the great impacts we will have. We have no emissions. And almost finally, we are creating new jobs. And we know that in Africa, there are many young people without jobs. So if we create bicycle taxis with e-bikes, and we met motorcycle taxis, taxi drivers who said, can I have this e-bike taxi? Because it doesn't use any fossil fuel. I don't have to pay any petrol for that. And it lasts long, and I can even afford it with a microcredit maybe. And so we have already gained, although we have only tested a few of them in the area of Jinja, at the source of the Nile, we saw there's a potential in that. And of course, and that's the reason why we call it social business model, we improve the access to the different purposes in life. Medication, education. We have met teachers who saw us and they said, you know, I'm a teacher of a primary school and I really have hazards to come to the work. And so can you provide with these bicycles our region here? Well, all in all, we start to think about doing that on a sharing basis. And of course, we will work through microcredits to really actually to sell them to those ones who have a little bit more income. What's coming next is we need some partners in the future, in the next year. We want to go into the next phase as soon as possible. And of course, we hope that this Rotary Global Convention will also be able to spread the message we want to be spread in the world and under the interested actors. So we have already some partners. And you see Patrick Kayemba as the director of First African Bicycle Information Office. We have Sun Cycles in Namibia. We have partners in the energy sector, which is the British Microgene Renewable Groups and the African Green Tech Group, which are investing in solar energy. And they told us, look, we have mobile containers which we equip with solar panels. And we give people energy to drive their machines, their mills, their haircutting accus, batteries, and so on. But if you come with the mobility component, the whole business would be even better. So that's exactly the idea we have, and we have very close contacts to United Nations who are very interested. We met them 2 weeks ago, and they said, you guys from Fabio and Juris, if you have some data on that, reliable data, how a bicycle ambulance can save lives and how many lives you have saved maybe, and how many jobs you have created, we would also go and put that on our priority list of activities in the next years. And finally, we need partners in the microcredit banks, and then we have already one identified in Uganda. What we need now, we need technical support. We want to create a bit of a better bike. This bike is good, but it's not good enough. We have some problems here in the fork. This is the breaking point. We have, of course, higher speeds and higher loads. Sometimes people put very much load here, and so we have a little bit of a problem to solve. But these are minor technical problems, and we want to create a new bike. We want to redesign this bike. This is number one. Number two, you see, we need some 30 to 50 bikes to be able to equip these containers or these energy hubs. One will be in Uganda, and maybe the other one will be in Mali, in West Africa. And finally, we will create a feasibility market analysis to see what is the best price for the bike, what is the best usage characteristics, and so on. And finally, we are looking for co-funding for our work, because we have to prepare these projects, we have to evaluate, we have to communicate through the internet that this is something which could really boost the development in the mobility sector in many, many regions. So this is what we wanted to tell you, and at the very end of this presentation, we would like to present a short video. We went together with our friend and colleague Bjarne Mädel. I don't know whether some of you know Bjarne Mädel. Bjarne Mädel is a German actor, and we went with him to Uganda in April. This just 1 month, 2 months ago, and Bjarne witnessed the project. And we will show you now the outcome of this visit of Bjarne Mädel in Uganda. I think we can start the video now.
Hi, my name is Bjarne Mädel. I'm an actor from Germany, and a friend from school told me about the land of bicycles. And that's why I'm here in Uganda now, to see for myself. Excuse me?
Yes.
What are those?
Those are, which one?
The white one?
This one here?
Yeah.
They are e-taxis.
E-taxi?
Yes.
So bicycle taxi?
Yes, bicycle taxi.
Can we get out and take one?
Yes, it's possible.
Do you know the people?
Yes, I know them.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Where are you going, Daddy? I'm a simple guy.
Yeah.
Can you very simply explain how you get the energy of the sun into the bicycle?
The energy is from the solar panel that is up.
Okay.
And then a charger controller inside the house.
Yes.
And then from the charger controller, you bring here in the charger. Just here. And then put in the charger. This
Okay.
just like
Very
for the
simple.
phone.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Same. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
And how long does it take for the battery to load?
If there is no strong sun, 2 hours. If there is strong sun, 1 hour.
Only 1 hour.
Yes.
And how long does it last?
It takes for 4 hours if you are using the highest gear. And doesn't mean that you stop because you can also pedal.
So and it looks very simple.
It's a normal bicycle, only just electric part.
At least 600 million people in Africa have no permanent access to clean water. Water sources are mostly far away and need to be reached by foot. Less than 1% of African households own a bike. Women and school children have almost no access to bicycles, but cover 90% of the household transport burden.
Let me help you. I do it. Where you want to go? I'm sorry. Hey, how are you?
I'm okay.
Oh, it's the bike.
Yeah, it's a bike.
And you can transport the water.
Yeah.
Sorry. 1, 2, 1, 2. I help you.
No.
I can help.
No.
No? I can really.
No.
Oh, she's pregnant?
Yes, she's pregnant.
Maybe I can help.
No. You remember yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. To feed them, mango.
Millions of Africans lack access to adequate health care. In emergency cases, health facilities cannot be reached in time. 75% of births in rural Africa are given without medical assistance. Maternity death rates are high.
Okay, so do you think this is a useful form of transportation?
Yeah, it is very useful. In fact, our mothers have been helped because pregnant mothers have been suffering in the villages.
So this really saves lives.
It really saves, and it's very important for our community.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many of those do you have?
Yeah, right now we have one.
Only one.
Only one. In fact, if there is a possibility, we'll be requesting for more.
Yes, okay. So this saves lives.
Yeah,
And we have one, so that's why we need more.
Since 2017, Eurist e-bikes have been operating in Uganda. They have traveled over 20,000 kilometers with the energy of the African sun and made daily life easier for many people.
Yes, thank you very much. So you are most welcome at Patrick's and our stand in Hall A. Is it A2? Yes, A2. We have the video in a German version in the internet on our website. You are most welcome to get some more information. We just discussed that other countries are hilly, and of course in a hilly area you can even use that to a better extent. Yeah, and we just got a message from this morning. We got a message from our microcredit partner that he wants to work with us now finally. So we are in the process. We are still in the pioneering phase. But on the next level, after this phase, it comes the next level. And now we are looking for support in the various directions, technical support, financial support, support in spreading the message. So if you have networks, if you have people who might be interested, just Google www.jurist.info and then you can find us there. Otherwise, we are also here for you to discuss this further. But I think we have to move from the stage now. Thank you very much once again, and thank you also to Patrick.
Okay, thank you very much, Patrick. Thank you very much, Jürgen. It's a very interesting project. Last year I have been in Rwanda and I saw a lot of bicycle taxis. And it was very tedious in the mountain regions. There would be an e-bike very helpful, I think. Okay, they have gone.